Alright, no intro today. I had a work meeting, so I'm getting to the gym really late. So it's a leg day. Specifically, we're going to be doing quads and calves only because we're kind of pressed for time. But we're going to start off with the seated machine leg press. And we're really just going to focus on form. I think we have it on 340. We're just going to see how that feels and kind of go from there. So let's get set it. Those feel pretty good. I think we're just going to kick it up a little bit though. We're actually just going to straight up try the 400. Because why not? Whew. So, quick little story time. Today, I actually had a work seminar, and we were having dinner just now, literally like an hour ago. Probably less than that. It was one of those like surreal moments where it's like, wow, this is happening. One of my coworkers, literally at the dinner table, had a heart attack. Calling an ambulance, and the workers are like freaking out because, like, you know, one of your guests is having an issue. So that was pretty crazy. We had a good day too. It's like, that sucks that to cap off, like, I'd say a pretty good day where your work buys you lunch, buys you dinner. You get out of the office for a bit, and then you wake up in a strange city, in a strange hospital, without your family, because you had a heart attack. Really makes me think a little bit about our mortality, and makes me want to double down kind of on healthy choices. Because he's not that old. He's 41, which is only 11 years older than me. So that's pretty terrifying. Not terrifying, but it kind of gives you context. Like, nothing's guaranteed, and we really only have one meat Gundam that we can pilot through this life. And you should treat it as best you can. All right. Trying to get a second set. We're just gonna, if we can hit this 400 for like 6 to 8, we'll just do all 3 sets at that weight. So, let's go. Wow, that's heavy. Whew, but I felt the burn of my fucking quads. All right, here we go. Alright, that's 6. This is a pretty deep angle for me, especially on a machine leg press. Oh, we got it. Definitely feel it in my quads. And that initial push. So I think we're gonna stick right here. Let's try and get another tough 6 in. Brace my knees a bit, just get that little bit of push. Ooh, there we go. All right. That is a tough 6. I can already feel my body sweating. Whew. You also know you're hitting like a nice, like, decently heavy weight for yourself, because you feel a little bit lightheaded, so you know you're like really pushing. I also like to tap the weight at the bottom of the sled You probably heard it go like ka-chunk. So yeah, I know. It's almost like a helps me determine that I've gone low enough on the exercise. Because when it's really heavy, I feel like you inherently almost want to cheat it a little bit. So setting it up almost to like where it might be too close to my body. Because there's like a little bit of give right when you push before it actually starts moving away. So coming down, audibly hearing that I've hit the bottom of the stack kind of helps me make sure that I'm actually moving the weight like I should be. This also might be controversial. I'm not sure if everybody feels this way, but when I do my initial lift, like I'm sitting right now, put my legs up, do that first push to get the chair all the way to the top, I count that as a rep. That's one. Because I have to push it all the way up. Maybe it's not controversial. Maybe that's what everybody does. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I'm also recording these, and I often think to myself, like, obviously right now, I don't really have an audience. I just started. So, I think it's interesting that I'm talking to viewers that I don't necessarily have yet. Everybody who watches this, if anyone, sticks around, is going to be in the far-flung future, looking back at the ye old beginnings of him sitting here talking to you like, all of this is happening today. Visitors from the future, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope that so it's 2024, so I hope that you of the future, whenever you watch this, is doing better than you were doing in 2024. And if you didn't quite get the progress that you were looking for, I hope that you find it. And I think you will. If you're watching this content, it means you're probably trying to improve yourself, physically at the very least. Or you just think I'm funny, valid. Or maybe you think I'm just really buff and hot, sort of valid. In either case, keep going. Don't give up. Kind of bridges back to that first video I recorded. If you don't give yourself the chance to be better, you can't be. And every day is very much a gift. There we go. So that's one. One more. I just need to get one more. One more. We got one more. Totally got one more. And just like that, we made it. Whew. All right. And you know the drill. We're gonna hop one up from this machine, and we are going to head to a new one. I think if you guys watched the last leg video, that you know where we're going. So get that bingo card out. Let's see if you're right. And I know none of you guessed the seated calf raise, because we didn't get to do it last time. But it was open, and the standing one was taken. So here we are. And we're gonna do 3 plates. Hopefully hit like 12 plus reps. We'll see how we feel. I did a warm up on 1 plate, warm up on 2. So this is gonna be our working weight today. And we'll see how it goes. Here we go. 15 felt good. Probably where kind of ideally you want to be. Just getting that full extension all the way down, all the way up. Just want to feel that stretch on your calf. I know the science doesn't support the seated calf raise, but I feel it, so we're gonna, like I said last week, we're just gonna keep incorporating it. And well, worst case scenario, we get a little bit more gains. Is that a problem? I don't think anyone's got a problem with that. God forbid we actually get stronger. And I don't like taking too big a rest on calves, right? They're a stubborn muscle, hard to see a lot of growth, so helps me keep my yapping to a minimum. Alright. We're gonna get 4 sets, so I did 1, try and get 3 more, 15. Woo. That's 15. Woo. Oh. I just have that fear creep up into your head a little bit towards the end of those reps as you kind of get into heavier weight. And, man, my calves are going to give out and I'm just going to be stuck on these 3 plates and I'm going to have to get help to save myself. Well, luckily that's not happened yet. It might happen eventually. But it hasn't happened today. And I think that's what really matters. Alright, it's enough. And another one. Oh, that's some stuff. One more set. We gotta believe in ourselves. Like our parents didn't. Because that built inner strength. Not having family. And now we're... It's like chemistry. We're converting the inner strength we built by having abusive parents into physical strength. It's not a one-to-one equation. It's not like 1 abuse equals 1 gain. But I think cumulatively, because there was a ton of abuse, it at least will garner a medium amount of gains. Alright, let's go one more. This will be the last one. We're just going to go till we're almost dead. Not quite. Oh, that was failure. That's good. That's all I want to see. Ooh, fuck. We're still gonna hit standing today. But we at least got seated out of the way really early. The opportunity to hit hack squat came up, so I usually don't do 2 really heavy quad exercises back to back. Or really at all, because I like to really just max it out and then kind of do supplementary exercises outside of that. But I'm not saying that's the correct way to do anything. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do 2 super heavy exercises back to back, and we'll see how we feel. We'll just get 3 plates on it. I really want to focus on depth. I want to go as far down as I humanly can, and then and I think that's just kind of like the focus I want to do today. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and put our first set in here. Here we go. really felt that, especially in the upper portion of my quads. So we're gonna, I think, stick with this weight, at least current fatigue in my legs, since I didn't do it first. I think it's a good weight to hit. And again, we're just doing quads and calves today. You ever come to the gym and think it feels some degree warmer than usual? I think they took the AC down, just put the fans on and said, everyone at the gym is going to be all right. Or, alternatively, I'm working out harder than I usually do. But my air conditioner conspiracy is still right there in the back of my head. Because if I owned a business, I know I'd want to cut costs, and it is a gym where people they want to sweat, they want to do a lot of weight. A lot of people equate being hot, being sweaty, being gross to gains. So it might be all a very elaborate tactic. Fuck. That is quite hard. What I don't want to be doing, and you don't really know till you record yourself and you really see, it's hard to really stay wholly focused when you're like pushing the weight, even with the mirrors. Especially for compound movements that take a lot of focus. I just want to make sure that with the weight that I'm doing, I'm making the most of it, not cheating myself and trying to go heavier than I should be with shitty form. Alright, we just got one more, and we are sweating like absolute crazy, which is not normal for me. It's gotta be hot in here. Nobody's changing them though. I want to see a thermostat. Maybe that's our next adventure. We walk around the gym till we find the thermostat and confirm that it's actually 81 degrees in here. Here we go. Two more. We got two more. I hope. One more. All right. And we did it. So we're gonna pack it up here. Depending on machines that are open, we're either gonna try to do a standing calf raise or just a lying leg curl. I know I said we might not do curls today, but I want to give my quads just a little bit of a break before we pipe them down again with another leg extension. So that's your free space on the bingo card. All right, and we were able to nick a seated leg curl. And I think last week we did, or last time I should say, we did a bunch of isolation work. So today we are going to focus on both legs. I'm going to get a little bit of weight on. Just want to focus on getting that stretch right at the beginning. And then we're going to kind of transition into our actual working weight here in a bit. was our warm up. We're gonna go ahead and crank that weight. Just gonna try right about there, see how it feels. Alright. Just get a good song on, a little lifting song. And fun and jumpy. Okay, it feels good. Just want to control the weight all the way down, all the way up. Two more. Alright. I know I put on some good try hard faces during that workout. I can feel myself licking my lips a little bit. That's my concentration. Alright, so you want to set in? We're gonna do two more. At this weight, really just controlling it all the way down, all the way back up. Just take a sip of water and get hydrated. And let's get a set in. Oh, you're feeling that. Let's get one more. That is quite a bit of stress on the lower leg. So I saw something that made me upset on the internet. Not recently, but within the past 3 months of my life, had gotten a kitten. I nicknamed her Meg. It's a black cat. Found her on the side of the road, literally on Christmas Day. And I was like, well, I already had a cat. And I saw her, and I stopped my car, and I said, if this cat comes to me, and that just means the cat distribution system has once again selected me to rehome a cat. My first cat was also a ditch cat, so now I have a ditch cat and I have a curb cat. Right? A shoulder cat? Highway shoulder cat? I'm not sure. Well, what made me upset is I named her Meg. I thought it was very clever. Because Meg was short for Megatron. And Megatron the cat is a hilarious name to me. Well, and she's a black cat, so I feel like, you know, it's almost like I associate Megatron with the bad guy. Bad guys are associated with black typically, even though I know in more Megatron is purple originally, and then in Transformers universe they made him silver, like the movie ones. But purple is close enough to black because you're not going to find a purple cat. I named her Megatron. But then the other day, I was scrolling through some reels, you know, just wasting time as we do, and I saw that there's another very famous cat called Megatron, and it's young. I would almost go as far as to say that it's younger than my cat, and it just makes me a little bit upset that this other cat named Megatron, who looks nothing like a Megatron, is super popular. And people are going to think that I named my cat that and I'm copying. But I'm not. Like, assuming they've seen the other cat. Hopefully they haven't. And if they do, well, I'm just going to be like, you know what? I named my cat first. I win. Naturally, however, once I get a new pet, if I ever get a new pet, I am obliged to name it Starscream. Because Megatron's nothing without his right-hand man, Starscream. And as ridiculous as the name Megatron is, I almost somehow feel Starscream is an even more ridiculous name. Which is why I love it. Ridiculous names for pets, 10 out of 10. I love them. Also, naming things after things that they are not. Like, I had a pet hamster a long time ago that we named Biscuit. And I loved that name. It's so silly. It's so dumb. Maybe that's a common thing. Maybe lots of people do that, but it brought me a lot of joy. And it is a trend that I intend on continuing. Because it's either like a really, really dumb name, like Megatron, or like a name that has like a pop culture reference that I really like my my is named Kyoshi, after like Avatar Kyoshi. My first ditch cat, Luther, named after Lex Luthor. People also say Luther's kind of a goofy name for a cat. He's like an elderly gentleman. And I enjoy that. Let's get this final set in before these legs get too cooled off. Here we go. That's it. That is very tough on the hamstrings. From here, we're gonna. Damn, I actually don't know what we're gonna do. Everything I'm gonna do is being loose, so we're gonna hop on up, and wherever the wind takes us is where we're gonna be. And we nicked our leg extension, so that is indeed what we are going to do next. And same thing. Isolation last time. We should do both legs this time. Alright, let's get 6 to 8. Here we go. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. And since we hit hamstrings really hard just now, I'm just feeling it throughout my whole leg at this point. I can't believe that some people legitimately work out without any kind of music. They just listen to whatever the gym is playing. It's like really shitty speakers too. Doesn't even sound that good. Because they got the volume cranked all the way to max. This song's alright. I don't know if you guys can hear it. We're gonna do 2 more sets of this. The last set we're just gonna go till we can't go anymore. So let's get that first one in. I'm gonna put that too loud. I don't want my music to pull up on the microphone. We're gonna have to. It's gonna be an editing nightmare. Here we go. Let's just get 6. Control it all the way up. Control it all the way down. Fuck. That was a really abrupt end to that song. I'm pretty sure they started that song and let it play for 30 seconds and then cut it to a new one. I'm just gonna go until you see my quads actually just separate completely from my knees. Here we go. I can't. That is it. I couldn't dream of doing. I could dream actually. I could take a rest and probably do another set, but I don't want to overwork my quads. I knew I couldn't hold though. After about 4, all the way up, all the way down, kind of controlling it. I kind of like picked up the pace there at the end because I knew that I didn't really have the full all the way up, all the way down. And I really just wanted to push them as far as they would go, and that's kind of where we got. So we're gonna pack it up here. We're gonna actually hopefully go directly across some standing calf raises, and we're gonna call it for a leg day. The angle just kind of generally sucks for this machine because I have to stand up, but I'm gonna sit down between sets so you can look at my gorgeous face. And I think the point of the exercise is really just to get those calves in there, so this is gonna be a good enough angle. We're just gonna crank it up because we are already, I feel like, warmed up enough. Whew. Let's get under here and get the pumping. Yeah, my calves are already a bit, as we've kind of discovered, one of my favorite words is oopy. My calves are already indeed a bit oopy today. We don't want to give them, again, we kind of talked about it on the seated calf raise. We don't want to rest for too long. High ear calves are kind of a stubborn muscle. They're kind of short on time, and I hate rushing it, but I do have shit to do. We have work tomorrow, of course, and I have to get home and I have to edit this whole thing. So we're gonna crack on under here, and we're gonna push. That's 12. I'm thinking about titling this series Gym Therapy, because I keep finding myself coming to the gym and talking a bit about life and kind of the struggles and what I'm going through, and hopefully giving you some semi-relatable content to what you might be going through. So I guess today, between sets, I'm going to talk about where you're at, where you want to be, and where you think you should be. I'm in charge of some employees at my place of business, and they're all pretty much equivalent age to me, and they're in kind of different stages of life. One of them has a wife and a child, and the other one is kind of single, hasn't really had any real significant relationships. Is the two that we're going to focus on, and one of them, the one that is married with a kid, is very in his head quite frequently about what he's accomplished and where he should be and where he wants to be. And I think that's kind of tragic, because, you know, competitively, the median income in the United States for men is about $40,000, and he makes more than that. He's married, he's got a kid, so as far as like his social situation and his relationship, he's ahead of the curve, ahead of some people, but he constantly feels like he might not necessarily be where he wants to be, because he compares himself to people who perhaps lived in a different generation or had more opportunities than he did. And that's tough. It's tough to get your mindset out of, you know, well, he has a father-in-law that is constantly saying, you know, when you want to get a real man job, and that's physical labor. But I don't think working your life away with back-breaking manual labor is indicative to you having a real job. I think that, you know, as long as you're able to put food on the table, you're making decent money, you have some aspirations and goals for the future, you're doing all right. Plus, he's only 28. Most people are only a few years out of college, and they haven't even really accomplished all that much. But he really beats himself up about where he's at, and it's kind of tragic. And I have conversations with him, and I try to help him. But once you get in that space that you haven't achieved enough, or you haven't accomplished enough, and you see XYZ influencer on the internet who's done more than maybe you have, it's hard to shake that I have not done enough in life. So let me get this set in, and I'll keep yapping. Our final set. And then we have my other employee who's in much the same place, without the family, and he's not quite as in his head, right? He's kind of just going through life, and he thinks he's content with the opportunities he's had, and he is focusing on growth, but he's not constantly his own mortal enemy about it. And I think that's kind of the gist of everything here. You might not be where you want to be, and you might not have accomplished as much as you think maybe you should have by this point in life. But I think it's important to note that everyone has their own journey, and everyone's got their own path. And there's going to be bumps and hiccups. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe, God forbid, you get a divorce. You have some kind of tragedy befall you. But at the end of the day, your experience is uniquely your own. And the only thing that comparing yourself to other people is going to do is make you miserable. So just focus on yourself. Self-develop as much as you can. And just know that whatever you're doing is good enough, as long as you, at the end of the day, can look at yourself and say, I'm on the path to self-improvement, no matter what that looks like. With that being said, we're going to pack it up here. I'll see you guys in the car. Alright, so that is going to be a leg day complete. It was a good leg day, got a good pump. Even though we were short on time, maybe the less rest between reps is going to do me good as far as growth. We're going to find out in 4 days when we hit it again. I'm looking forward to our chest day tomorrow. Should be a little bit easier on the schedule. I'm not going to be locked up at work until nearly 8 o'clock, but all in all, today was still a good day. I almost had that thought sneak in of like, you could skip the gym maybe if you wanted to, but I'm really glad I didn't. We got in there, had a good time, threw some weight around, and looking forward to do it again. But I'm always looking forward to do it again, and I think that's the biggest blessing to me as I've kind of been on this workout journey. I'm constantly very keen on just progressing and seeing where I can go, and that's kind of been my mantra for life, really. I've had a lot of wrenches thrown at me in the short time. I say short, I'm 30. That's not really necessarily a short time anymore. I need to start owning up to the fact that I'm I guess I'm over 30, right? When you turn 30, you're exactly 30, and now that we are several days past that now, hit the gas, we're going to merge over and hold my camera so it doesn't shift around because I didn't tighten it enough, but I need to own up to the fact that I guess now I am past 30, which effectively for young people means you're in the middle of your life and your youth is over. But I've had a lot of wrenches thrown at me, and I am coming to terms with the place that I am in life, kind of touching on that last subject I was on that leg, the calf raise. And I am exactly where I should be, right? Could I have had some better opportunities if my home life was better? Sure. Maybe if my work ethic was better in my youth because I didn't see the value in, progressing my career because I really didn't know what I wanted to be, and definitely, yes. But I think that's all part of growing. I think accepting the fact that we all make mistakes, accepting the fact that you're now in a place to where you can be a better person is crucially important to continue developing. And if you carry around this weight that you haven't achieved what you should have, or what you could have is only really weighing you down, and it's not doing you any good. You can't change the past, but you can use it to influence you and be better. I always like to go back to the trauma I experienced when I was a kid. And I could take the abuse that I got from my father physically, the mental abuse that I got from my mother mentally, and I can use that as an excuse to be a shitty person to all of the people around me, because that's what I experienced. That's all the things that I, basically believe a human is to another human. But I've chosen to be better. I've chosen to say, hey, this is wrong. What happened to me was terrible. And I have swung so far in the opposite direction to never be that to anyone. And I think that's what I wish most people could take away from all their failures and all their hardships in life too. Just because you're not where you want to be doesn't mean your life's over. If you're 30, you're 40, you're 50, 60, whatever it is, as long as you wake up tomorrow, as long as you have another chance, another day, you can start getting to where you want to be. And yeah, maybe you never make it. Maybe I'll never own an Audi R8, and maybe I'll never be a multimillionaire. But it doesn't mean I can't live a happy life, and it doesn't mean I can't find genuine joy in the relationships and the people that I have around me. So that's my commitment to going forward, and I hope it's all of your commitment as well. And while we're on the subject of making commitments, I would like if all of you could make the commitment to liking, commenting, and subscribing to this video if you made it this far. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and thank you for tuning in.